Hey guys, come on in. How you doing tonight? It is Wednesday, hump day, middle of the weekday. Hope y'all have had a great day. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, where my page name comes from John chapter 6, verse 12, where when Jesus told the disciples to pick up the leftovers after he had fed the thousands, the 5,000, and told them that he wanted them to collect the leftovers so that nothing was wasted. And that is where my name comes from. So anyway, so all things work together for good, no matter what we're going through, no matter how bleak or dim it may seem, God's going to use it all for good. And anyway, so come on in. Hey, Linda, come on in. We are going to do a Lavender Fields, Chalk Couture, and of course it's backwards, but I have no control over that. If I did, I would turn it around. So we're going to take that stencil and we're going to put it on this tote bag. Hey, Carl, come on in. Come on in. A little bit later than I wanted to be, but anyway, this is a good time for me, and I wanted to pop on and show y'all this. So I'm going to be working with ink tonight, Chalk Couture ink, and I'm going to do a variety of different colors. How are you doing tonight? You having a good night? I'm going to work with a couple of different greens, because remember that when we, let me see if I've got some paper towels in here. Remember that we want to work with a variety of different, what's called values. We call them shades. Artists call them values. You know, a dark, a medium, a light. And when we work with different shades, then we get a little bit more variety in our work. And it just makes it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to see how this is going to turn out. So what I don't want to do is and you could though, you don't want to just, like the black, I'm going to have a lot of black on here, but when we get to the lavender, I have let me show you. I have 3 different colors that I'm going to work with. Because, thank you, Kathy, I appreciate that. When you see things in nature, it's not all one color. The light reflects off of what you have, what you're looking at from different directions, and so because of that, we also want to. All right, let me put this down here. We want to give a little bit of variety here. So this is going to be, I don't really think that I'm going to need an ink mat, because y'all, this is a pretty thick bag. I had a friend of mine give it to me, and she gave me like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of them, and I'm down to like the wire on them. So it has a pocket. It has 2 pockets on one side, and tonight I'm not going to do anything with the pockets. Tonight, I'm just going to do the back side of this, and I have considered maybe, all right, let me turn this over and look at it. Let's see, no, that's not going to fit. I want to find something that will fit on those pockets, and I haven't found it yet, so I'm going for the back, and we'll just see what happens with this. So I'm going to take this off of the back sheet. Chalk Couture stencils are reusable. They have an adhesive back on the back side, and it helps us like silk screening. And I started Chalk Couture about, let's see, October 21. So we're looking at 4.5 years? No, 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And I was online, and I found somebody who was demonstrating it. I thought, well, that looks like fun, and it is. And then that began a whole new journey for me. I love to learn new things. Y'all know that. I'm always taking classes and learning more about the art world, because I'm a math teacher. okay? That is my strength. And so I've been learning all kinds of different aspects of math. All right, so let me show you the best way to do these large stencils. You get it started, and then the easiest thing to do from there is to flip that over. So let me point y'all down. All right, let me do that again, because the first time I did one of these 12 by 18 inch stencils, I had it all over. I mean, I had it like all crumpled up and had to undo it. And if you get in a situation where your back, the sticky part or the adhesive sticks to itself, and you want to gently kind of undo it. But if it's really, really bad, just put it in some water. I don't know what the chemical process is, but there is some kind of chemical process that neutralizes the adhesive, and then that's an easier way to get it unstuck. And then once it dries, it'll be sticky again. All right, so I'm going to do this again. We get it started. We're going to flip this over. The rigidity of the back sheet helps to keep this stable, and then you just lift that back sheet off. And so I'm going to put that over here. Maybe it wants to slide. There we go. Okay, and you can see now if we were going to put this on like plastic or glass or wood or a painted surface, then what we would want to do is we would want to do what we call fuzzing it. And what that means is that you put a little bit of lint on the back of this so that when you get ready to pull the transfer up off of the surface that you're working with, it will release. But because this is fabric, we don't have to do that. All right, so there you go. So you saw me very, very quickly turn that over. And I am going to position this on here. I want to make sure that I get everything framed in here. And I'm trying to decide, if I want to do the framed part of this or not. I think I will. Well, let me think, because I hadn't considered that yet. All right, that's crooked. So it's just much, much easier to pick this up all in one piece and kind of, I'm going to position this. I'm looking at, do I really want, I think I'm not going to do, all right. I am not going to do the framed part of this. There's a border on here, and I'm not going to do that. And the reason why I'm not going to do that part is because I don't like where it hits. I'm going to do soaps, oils, lotions, and sashes, but I don't want to frame that in. So all I really want to do are the Lavender Fields, the lavender, and then the words that we have here. So I've got very little space here, and I'm going to get this so that it is, you know what, I can feel a hump in that, and that's not going to play well. So I am going to put a piece of cardboard in here so that I have one smooth surface as opposed to, all right, so now I've got a nice smooth surface. What I'm working with is, what you see these seams here? Let's see if I can show you all this. See these seams? Everywhere you see those seams. Hey, Pat. Okay. You can come back and watch it on replay. All right, see where these seams are? Anytime you have some kind of like hump or a raised area, and this is a pretty thick canvas, so I don't want to take any chances of that seam interfering with, all right, I'm going to put, I'll have to move this. So I don't want, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of, as I stencil this, I will move that piece of cardboard. I don't think I have anything big enough to get it completely this, what would this is going to be 12 by 16. This might work. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to put this canvas board in here. It has a plastic protection on it. And that way I don't have to worry about moving this. So hold on. Let's see if this is going to fit. I think it will. Ha ha ha, there we go. All right, let me get this down in here. It has a protective coating on it. And now what I can do is I can have this all in here, maybe. All right, I may have to, all right, hang on while I'm on the struggle bus here. I might be able to get that in there. This is a little bit wide. If I had an 11 by 14, it would probably be perfect. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to do this border on here. I am not going to do that border. And I want to make sure that this is straight. So let me just play with this until I get it where I want it. I'm looking up here at the top where the stitching line is. And I'm going to make sure that it comes down the same amount all the way around across this top. And then I'm going to straighten this out. I'm going to lift this up. And I'm going to go from the center to the outside. And that's going to give me a nice, good seal on this. And I'm going to work from the top to the bottom here. And, hey, Lisa. And so, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the Lavender Fields. And then after I'm going to kind of give you all the heads up of where I'm going with this. I don't need these for now, so I'm going to get these out of the way so that I have more space. And this can go over here. I've got like such limited space. All right. And then I'll need to pull this way so that y'all can see what I'm going to do. Because this is such a large bag, I don't want to give it this border. And I just want the words on here. And then that way it can flow how to the ends without having that, that stopping point. All right, so I've got green and my purples and black. So I'm going to open up my, my black ink. Ink is permanent, so you want to be careful that you don't get any of this on your, all right, I'm going to open my drawer and use this for my lids, I think. This color here is called Perfect Purple. And I'm going to open this up. Oh my gosh, y'all, is that not gorgeous? I'm going to show y'all what it looks like when you first open it. Isn't that pretty? All right, and then I'm going to try not to get this on my canvas bag. And then this is called Shimmer Violet. This is an ink. These are inks. The ink is going to, I'm going to heat set this, which means that I need to turn this little guy on. And we're going to add, oh my word. This is, obviously, this is the first time that I have seen these, and I love them. Okay, so see that? It's got a little bit of a shimmer in there. And we're going to throw that in the trash. And I haven't opened this one. I mean, I've used this, but I haven't used it in a while. Oh, nope, this is a new one. Okay. And we're going to open this one too. And I want to be careful not to get this on my bag, because once it gets in that fabric, it's not coming off. And that's kind of what you want. All right, I'm going to put my lids over here just so I have more space. And I'm going to go in here with these stir sticks and stir this up. This almost looks like it could use a little bit of water, even though it's brand new. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. This is distilled water. You want it to be kind of smooth and creamy. And I have a website for Chalk Couture if any of y'all are interested in getting any of these or any of their other products. All right, so there is that. Look at that. This is what it, I wonder why that's not smooth and creamy. See how smooth and creamy that is? That's what we want. Hey, Kim, did you get the message that that I sent you? I replied to your message. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is going to be gorgeous. I say that, but I only say it when I believe it. All right, and then we've got a little bit of, I'm going to do a little bit of distilled water in here. You don't want to put tap water because it'll, if there's any bacteria in your tap water, it'll cause this to mold, and you don't want that. All right, so just kind of stirring this up, getting it nice and creamy. All right, this is what we have. All right, so, and then I'm going to come in with, I'm going to use some squeegees, and I'm going to use a multi-tool, and I'm also going to use a detail tool. And all of these are under accessories in my shop. I'll post a link after I get offline. All right, and then I'm hoping that if all goes well, maybe we can add some rhinestones in with the on the lavender. So I'm not going to need that for all right, here we go. We're going to go, remember, I'm not doing the border. I have to tell myself that. I am not doing the border. So I'm going to go in here with, and the ink doesn't take, it takes a little bit longer to dry. So you have plenty of time to work. And I'm just going to go over the words in black. Now, if y'all are like me and you get going and you get busy and you forget, oh, I did not want to do that, you can always tape things off, okay? Remember that you can always tape stuff off. Tape is your friend. And then you don't have to think about, oh, what was I going to do here? And, okay, so see how I'm getting next to the lavender? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go up into the word lavender and away from the flowers so that I don't accidentally go over the flowers. Okay, and then I'm just going to carefully go around this, being careful not to hit that border, because I do not want to put the border in there. Now, y'all can do that if you want to. Remember that when you get your project, you can do whatever you want and add whatever creativity you have. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I am going to do a variety of purples. And I haven't, let me get a paper towel here in case I want to. And I wanted, maybe I'll do, no, all right. Let me back up. Sorry. Let me add some green in here. I'm going to go in with the detail, and I'm going to do just a little bit of these stems. This is where it's going to get a little bit more tricky. We want some of this, we want some of these green stems. I thought I was going to use a variety of colors, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough space to do this. But let's just try. Kind of mix it. It may not be. And then as we come down, And then I'm going to come back over top with the lavender. And just kind of a little bit of a mix of both of these, just to see what happens. And I'm just doing these stems, making sure that I get good coverage on them. This detail brush has a like a pokey thing on the other side too. And so, like, if you get your paste, all right, I'm going to come on down and we're going to go in here. Sorry, got a dry throat. I'm going to do these stems. And I'm kind of going in some places. Sorry. And not in others. And I'm going to come back with the lighter stuff. And this is where you just kind of get to play with it and see where you want the colors to go. I'm trying to be careful and not hit the flowers. Now, if you don't have the detail tool or you don't have the multi-tool, you can always use the miniature squeegees and you can cut those up. All right, I'm going in. And I'm not getting all of the leaves. I'm just getting some sections of them. And then I'm going to come back with the sage. This is called Meadow. I'm going to come back with the sage. And get some of that lighter stuff in there. All right, let me get this all the way down to the bottom. I think I want to do that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put that off to the side, and now I'm going to come in. So this is going to take a little bit longer than some of the other Chalk Couture projects that I do this with. Once you have to dry the green before doing the flowers. I don't think so. I mean, you could, but with this, all right, so I'm going to I'm trying to stay away from where the flowers are, so I'm not actually mixing. But to answer your question, that is actually a great question, because remember that when we have all three primary colors mixed together, that is when we end up getting mud. And so these greens are, I'm mixing yellow and blue, and coming down in here. And getting kind of a variety of the colors in here. Now, if I were to mix the green and the purple, then the chances of me getting mud are greater. I think that's what you're talking about, right, Kathy? But I think I'm going to be okay here. We're going to find out. The ink takes a little bit longer to dry, so you always have more time to work with that. All right, here we go. I just want to make sure that I've got these good and covered. And having this small tool in here helps that. Just going in here. All right. All right, let me wipe this off. And now I'm going to go in with the different purples. And we're going to see what happens. And then after I do that, I'm going to actually lift this up. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks good. Okay. I'm going to come in here, and now we're just going to play with the purples. And I want this to be the majority of the purple that I use. So I'm going to start with this one. Yeah, just kind of put it in different spots. And then I'll come back over with some of this, this darker shimmer. And I have no rhyme or reason as to why I'm putting the purple where I am. I'm just really, to be honest with you, just haphazardly putting it down, laying it down in places because I want a mixture of the purples. And then I'll come back over with the other purple and see how we do. I have not done this before, so y'all are seeing me completely winging this. All right, so we're going to do this one here and a little bit over here. All right, and you can see that I'm kind of got different spots here. So now I'm going to put this down, hopefully not knock it down on the floor. And I'm not even going to change I'm not even going to wipe my tool off. And now I'm going to just kind of come in with this shimmer. And that green is already soaked into the fabric, so I think I'm okay with this. And I thought I was going to do 3 colors, but I think I'm just going to do 2, is what it's kind of looking like. Let's see what happens if we add this one. Let's add this other color over here and see what it does. Oh yeah, I think we want to add some of this too. Just getting a variety of the different purples. Okay, so let's say that you only have 1 color purple. That is what you do next. Yeah, the tool is really helpful. It makes a big difference. Let's say that you know, that you're trying to make ends meet and you want things to, you're trying to save money. I highly recommend that you go with the darker colors and then just add white. So get you some white, and then that way you can add a little bit of white, then you can add more white, and you can continue to add white and get lighter and lighter colors. So you're never stuck. White, and then the other thing you can do is you could go in with just a hint. I want to say yellow because yellow is the color of purple. I mean the purple's complement. All right, so here we go. I'm just doing a variety of colors here. All right, and it looks like that is lifting up, so I want to be careful. All right, I'm going to go back in again. And I'm going to pick up some of this shimmer because I want to get some of this, I want to get more of this shimmer in here. And we're going to see what happens when we lift this up. So now I've got 3 different colors that I'm working with. And that wants to lift up. I'm not liking that at all. All right, let's see if I can kind of press this down and it won't bleed on me. All right, and then I'm going to come in here again with more of this shimmer. Making sure that I have all of everything covered. Go in here with this other color of purple. I've got 3 colors that I'm working with. Okay, y'all. I think this is gonna be pretty. Making sure that I've got, and then we've got our green here. All right, so now the last thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here. Oops, I missed this spot here. The last thing I'm gonna do is come in here with the black. All right, I've got that wiped off. All right, here we go, y'all. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to remember not to do the lines on the edge. And I've got just this is just barely touching this, so I gotta be careful. Okay, going over this, but I don't want to do the lines on the side. It's just personal preference. No, I'm just thinking that this will leave this more open. All right, here we go. We're going into these. Oh, this is going to be really, really tricky. I am like right on that edge there, so I've got to be real careful. And we're going to do fresh picked. Now when I go to lift this up, I'm going to lift this edge up because I mean I am like right on the edge of that. I'm going to turn this over. Nature's Finest. Making sure that I've got all the letters. Whoops, I'm telling you what, I'm living dangerously. Now, let me tell you what y'all could do is you could actually put the put some tape around this edge so that you don't accidentally go off the edge. And then I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna go ahead. This has got some like distressing over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these parts here. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put that in my water, and now I'm going to lift this up. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to actually get some more paint on here. Some more ink. It's not quite soaked in enough. Trying to be real careful not to... I should have taped this. I should have put some tape around the border just so that y'all don't make the same mistake I did. I mean, I'm like right on the edge here, so it's going to be real interesting to see if I can, what I end up doing. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's much better. Yep. And let me get this S here. So you can lift it up and put it back down. All right, here we go. All right, let me get this F over here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this, making sure that we've got plenty of ink on here. And I want to get this up before it dries in the silkscreen area. All right, this is looking good, looking good. Oh my goodness, y'all. All right, let me get this right here. All right, that looks good. Oh my goodness. All right, I want to hold on. All right, I'm put that in my water. And I'm going to come over here and I want to just do some of this on here. And lift it up and see what we have. Oh my goodness, y'all are not going to believe this. All right, hang on. Let me get this in the water. Wow, wow. These three colors, you would not think that they would match, but by the time, and the shimmer, oh my goodness, y'all. This is gorgeous. So adding the shimmer to this, I'll tell you the colors that I have. All right, I got to get this down in my water so that it can start. Oh my goodness. I'm going to turn it around. Let me get my hands clean. You definitely want, okay, the colors that I used. If you have a pencil, you can write this down. This is Shimmer Violet, and it has like a glitter effect to it. This is called Berry. I know, Valerie, this turned out amazing. I'm telling y'all, this concept that I have learned, okay, 3-4 years ago, I had no clue about this. And all right, I'm going to go ahead and put these lids on here so that I don't end up dropping something on the floor. 4 or 5 years ago, I had no clue. Okay, so let me tell you why I'm telling you what I'm getting ready to tell you. Is that when I started with Chalk Couture, I was not, I had no idea about how to work with paint, how to work with paste, how to work with color. Remember, I'm a math teacher. And I can tell you how to solve equations. I can always tell you how to solve equations. But I kind of wished I would have done, instead of doing the black, I would have done some lavender over here. But it's too late now, and it looks great. But what I learned is that we like different. Our eye is attracted to different. And so if we only use one color, that's not different. But when we use a variety of colors, and one of the other things that I do is I look out, I look at, I am too, Valerie. This is, oh my gosh, y'all, this is like huge. All right, I'm going to turn it around and show you, and then I'm going to dry it. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, using the 3 different colors just is a game changer. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, I think I want to, how do I want to do this? All right, I'm going to put this on its side right now. Whoops, or I'm going to drop it on its side. And I want to get this transfer cleaned, because you really don't want to leave this ink on here. The sooner you get the ink off of here, the better. So I'm going to just take my board eraser, and it's going to look ugly, but we're going to take my board eraser, and we are just going to run this over it, and we want to get all of that ink out of the silkscreen area while it's still wet, because you don't want the ink to dry in there. It is like almost impossible to get the ink out of the silkscreen area if it dries on you. So I could have used a bigger pan, but I don't have a bigger space to put it on, so that wouldn't have helped either. All right, we're going to take this, we're going to turn it over. I'm going to dirty up another rag towel. And what you're looking for is you're looking to make sure that all of your silkscreen area has the ink out of it. And so I'm just looking in there. It can stain your transfer or your stencil. You just want to make sure that the silkscreen area is all nice and clean. And I may have waited just a little bit longer than I needed to get this out of the word lavender. So we'll see what happens when I use it the next time. But that's the critical part. Oh no, it's looking good. The critical part is to make sure that you get all the ink out of the silkscreen area. That's your goal. All right, let's see what we got. All right, hang on. I'm going to turn this over. And we're going to just... This is a pretty big transfer. And so when you take the amount of time that I did to chalk this, you just want to make sure that you right away, you get this in some water and then you clean it as soon as you can. And this is looking good. This is looking good down here. It's got a little bit of ink up at in the top where it says Lavender Fields, but I think I'm going to be okay because it's going to just look a little bit distressed. Hey Michelle, how are you? I'm just cleaning this transfer and then I'm going to bring my project back up. This turned out amazing. If you didn't see it from the start, you'll want to go back. And I used 3 different colors for the lavender, 2 different colors for the green, and then of course black. And if I wanted it to look kind of more distressed looking, I could have done like black and gray or black and, you know, another color, but I chose to just do the stark black because that's what I like. All right, just getting the ink out of here. It's coming out. You'll want a board eraser if you end up trying Chalk Couture, because that's what's going to get your stencils nice and clean. And I use my board eraser for other projects too. All right, here we go. All right, let me bring the, I'm going to put this on its back sheet. Let me bring this back sheet in here, and we're going to put this on here. It's going to be all nice and done. And we can put it back in the package. All right, let me do it this way. I'm going to do it over here where I can reach. And what I'm doing is I'm lining the corners up, this corner up, and this line here. All right, let's do it this way. You see how it was all flimsy and everything? I'm going to turn this over and do it. I'm going to do it backwards because I'll have better luck with it. So it's good that y'all see me struggle like that. All right, so I'm going to take this corner here, this corner right here, and I'm going to line it up with this corner over here. And then I'm going to lay it down because I have more control over the paper than I do the stencil. Okay. And I'm going to lay that down on the line, and then I'm going to press it down. And I'm going to turn it back over, and I'm going to just kind of press this down. One of the reasons why I take the time to show y'all how to do this is because I had to figure this out on my own. And now I'm just lifting it up and laying it down so that I get all the bubbles out of it, and I get a nice good seal on here. Thanks, Valerie. All right, so let me bring this back up, y'all. Here we go. I am going to pull this board out of here. Oh my goodness, y'all. All I did was put a canvas board in there. Look at this. I don't know if y'all can see the sparkle in it or not. And then I think I may add some rhinestones. I haven't decided. All right, let's dry this. Let's dry it. Wow, 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 wow. All right, I don't know if this is on. Nope, it's not. Let me plug it in. We're going to dry it. Oops, that wasn't smart. I'm like throwing this stuff on there. All right, let me get my plug. All right, here we go. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Thanks, Valerie. Definitely want to use more than one color of purple. I'm going to make sure this is on. And I'm thinking I want to do something with rhinestones. And so you notice that when I did the lettering down here, I didn't have enough, I didn't have enough ink. So I ended up having to put the transfer back down and go back over it again. And the nice thing about this ink is that it soaks right into the fabric. So it's not like a vinyl that lays on top of it. This actually becomes part of the weave of the bag. So I want to find just some small clumps of lavender that I can put on the pockets on the other side, but I'm not sure. I'm going to lift this up so that the airflow can go through here. Well, 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 well. I'm loving it. Y'all, it's so funny because I never know what I'm going to do. You did see sparkle. I used, where is it? I used Shimmer Violet. Of course, you can't see it. But I used Shimmer Violet, so there's sparkle in it too. So I used 3 different colors. I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, hang on. I gotta put this on that. All right, let me get this out of the way before I drop it on my project. Don't need to be dropping it on my project. That would be no fun. All right, so I'm going to get that out of the way. All right, so I use 3 colors. This is Shimmer Violet. Let's see if you can see. See the shimmer in it? This is Perfect Purple. And then this color here is a berry. And it doesn't look like that berry kind of really matches with it, but I'm going to tell y'all, when you mix these 3, when you mix 3 different colors, it just, I don't know why it works. I just know it does. All right, so let's see if I can, all right, let me bring this, I'm going to bring y'all in, so hold on, so that I can maybe get the light on this a little bit better. I don't know. If you look at the lavender, there is 3 different colors in there. You can see the shimmer in it. You see the reflection. So I've got a shimmer, I've got a purple, and I've got a berry here. And it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. But I'm thinking, all right, so hang on a minute. All right, let me get this out of the way. And put my paper towels down in here. And I want to come and I want to get this ink out of my way so that I have more space to work here. Okay. And, oh my gosh, y'all. I just never know how these are going to turn out. And they always turn out so awesome. All right, let me get this over here. And we're going to get a piece of parchment paper. I'm glad I didn't use the border on that. I'm really glad that I didn't do that. All right, here we go, y'all. 30 seconds at 305 degrees, or you can use an iron. So let me back y'all up. Got a piece of parchment paper in between. And I'm going to do this in sections. It looks like I'm going to have to do it in 4 sections, and that's okay. We're going to heat set this, and this will be able to go through the washer and dryer. I don't know that you'd want to do that, but if you did, you could. And all right, so there's 30 seconds there. Now we're going to move this down, and we're going to come over here, do another 30 seconds. Wow. And this will, it's like before you heat set, it's kind of tacky. And then after you heat set it, you can run your hand over it and you won't even, you could close your eyes and you would not be able to tell where the lettering is. Whereas if you did something with vinyl, you would not be able to, you would be able to feel that vinyl. But you can't feel this. All right, let me bring this down here. All right, another 30 seconds because I got to get the bottom section here. Wow. But I'm thinking I want to add more sparkle to this. So it has some sparkle, but not as much as I'd like for it to have. Y'all, I'm telling you. So maybe tomorrow or another night, I want to do something on the other side, but I don't know what I have. I may have to order some, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. All right, here we go. 30 seconds again. Wow. This is amazing. So awesome. All right, then we're going to turn it inside out, and we will do the back side of it just to make sure that everything is nice and heat set. Okay. All right, so let me put this off to the side. Wow, look at that. How gorgeous is that? All right, let's turn it inside out. Gonna turn it inside out. I feel like I want to bling this up. How are we doing on time? It's been an hour. All right, here we go. Let me... All right, I like to, I don't know that you have to do this, but I always err on the side of caution. And so I am going to put a piece of parchment paper in between just in case, so that I don't end up having any ink transfer. I don't think it's going to transfer, but I just don't take any chances. All right, so we're going to do 4 sections again. Y'all, this is like, I'm telling you, 3, 3, 3, 3. You know, I think of the Trinity when I say 3. When you use 3 different shades, or it's also called values of paint in your projects, or ink, or paste, or color, it is a game changer. It is, I mean, it is a game changer. I just cannot stress enough how much of a game changer that is. So if I would have just gone over that with 1 color of green and 1 color of purple, it would have been flat. But because I added the extra 2, I did green in 2 colors, and I did purple in 3 colors, it gives it more dimension, and it makes it so that your eye wants to travel around the canvas. Wow. And as always, the projects that that I do online are all for sale. So if anybody is interested in purchasing any of the items that I make, you can private message me. All right, I'm going to do one more section, and then I'm going to turn it right side out. And then we're going to put this over here. I know. Thank you, Valerie. Always appreciate you when you come on. You've got such an encouraging gift. All right, we got one more. This is the last section, and then I'm going to turn it right side out and show you what we have. And I'm going to kind of put some, I'm going to just pull out some, I have some purple rhinestones, and I'm going to pull some out. And, all right, here we go. We're going to put this out of the way. Maybe. There we go. And turn this right side out. All right, hold your ears because I know this is loud. I'll just leave that there for now. I'll get it in there in a minute. All right, we're going to turn this right side out. I have some green rhinestones too, but I couldn't find them. So I'm going to just pull these out and see. And I may, when I go offline, I may, because y'all don't need to sit and watch me glue rhinestones on there. You may want to. There you go. All right, let me see where this goes. Let me get this pressed in here so that we can get our little foot back. Okay. All right, there we go. Wow. All right, let me get this straight. All right, this is what we have. Look at that. Let's see if I can you see the sparkle? Thanks, Valerie. Wow, 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 wow. All right, let me just for kicks, you know, with this shimmer, I'm not so sure that I really have to have the rhinestones, but I'm going to pull them out anyway and just see what we have. I may be able to put some really small ones in here. All right, I've got this little picker pin. This is fun to work with. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me get this out of here and let me see. I'm thinking that, where is my, I need like a little tray. Let me get my little trays. This is a Totally Dazzled rhinestone kit, and it has like these little trays in here. So I'm gonna pour my rhinestones in here. And what these little trays do is they will make it so that the rhinestones are right side up so that I can actually work with them easier. All right, so here we go. So I just want to see what this is going to do. I'm curious. So I'm going to just see. See, these are itty bitty. See how little they are? And then when I shake these, they go bottom side down, top side up. There's little ridges in this. All right, so I have to see. I have to check this, y'all, and see. Yeah, it needs these. It definitely needs these. Oh my gosh. Yep, this is just another pop of color. And I'm going to put them not where the sparkle part of the paste ink is, but where from, yep, okay. All right, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but if we just add a little bit of more sparkle to this, these rhinestones are going to make this pop. So that when you walk by it, it's got a little bit more eye-catching. And so what I do when I'm working with the rhinestones is, I know, I love this shimmer. This is a shimmer violet paste, and you know, and it's mixed with a flat. And so when I come up here with these rhinestones, I'm just double checking to make sure that this is what I want to do. And I think it is, y'all. I think this is, it gives it just enough. All right. So I'm going to show y'all what I'm going to use, and then, all right, so what I will do is I'll put these on here, and then I'll put them where I want them, and then I'll just lift this up and put this down. Just put a little teeny tiny dab of glue. And all I've done right now is just determine, do I really want the rhinestones? And I've decided that I do. And so what I can do is I can just come in here with the glue, and let me wipe this off. This makes such a huge difference. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come in here, and I'm going to just put little dabs of glue. Because rather than pick it up and put it down and pick it up and put it down, I'm going to just add just pops of sparkle. And I'm going to come in here and just put that right down on top of where the glue is. And I'm using B7000. I have put rhinestones on jeans with this. And sometimes they come off in the washer and dryer, but for the most part, it'll stay. It won't. All right, and there is a, I could come in here, there's like a little heat tool, and you can use the heat tool, and I may come back and do that too. But it takes a lot longer to get that going. So I'm just right now want to show y'all just another option of what you can do. Oops. To get a little bit more pop on here. Kick it up a notch, as Emerald would say, right? And so what happens is you've got like another dimension of sparkle on here. And I have found that I can go in with my left hand and in with my right. Okay. But I'm not going to hold y'all up with this because it gets, you can spend as much time on this as you want. And it's always fun. So let me see if I got, all right, I'm going to take that one off. And I'm going to take this one off, because when I lift this up to show y'all, I don't want to lose my rhinestones if I don't have to. Now, if you work with paper, like making cards, then this picker pen is good for working with small pieces of paper also. So I'm going to just pull these off here, and then I'm going to show you the few places that I put some rhinestones. And then I'll do this offline. Okay. Let me show you. Okay. Here we go. And you can, I don't know if you can see. Let me bring it in. It's always a lighting thing, right? All right, so right in here, see if you can, it's not sparkling. Let's see if I can get it to, it's not gonna do what I want it to do. But anyway, there you go. It's got a few little extra sparkles in there. And so when you walk by, or when you're carrying this bag and somebody's walking by you, then they'll be able to see this shine up. All right, y'all, that's what I have. Lavender Fields tonight, and love how this turned out. If you're interested in the stencil, you can message me, or I'll try and give you a link that you can find it. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. If you're just hopping on at the end, I'd appreciate it if you go back and watch it from the beginning and sprinkle that out there so that others can be inspired. Y'all have a great night. I love you. Jesus loves you more. All right. Bye-bye. Bye, Valerie. Thanks for your encouragement. Appreciate you.